YouTubers and other internet users. After a very long hiatus, I am finally back. I hope you all miss me, because if not, I'm gonna have to bring this out again. But in all seriousness, I sincerely apologize for taking so long to make a new video. It's a long story. The short version being that after my last video during my last month of school, I just got totally overloaded with work, especially my last week with finals, and it was too much. Brutal! But luckily, as of May 5th, so why am I making this video now, you may ask? Well, after finals, which were, again, brutal, I just needed a couple weeks of downtime. Plus, I got lazy. Don't deny it, other college students. I'm sure you got lazy too. Anyway, I did have a couple more videos planned between my last video and now. Unfortunately, due to the massive workload and other general laziness and activities, I just never got around to making them. So I'm going to give you a little short version of them. Now, these were both movie reviews. The first being Scream 4. And the second, Rio. Fly. That was not a blue macaw. But before I get to those, I would like to take a step back to my last review, Rango. Mainly that I forgot to mention that it was in fact my 7th movie review, good luck, and also my 13th video, bad luck. It got 2 likes and 2 dislikes. In fact, I've noticed that the only videos I've done that have gotten any dislikes were my last 2 movie reviews. Bearing that in mind, I would appreciate it if some of you might care to offer suggestions on my videos, any ways I can improve them, because I enjoy getting comments. I like hearing feedback and things from my viewers. It'd be really helpful. That way I'll know what all of you will want to see out of my videos. By the way, can anybody name any good sound effects sites or ways I can upload pictures into my videos? That would be really nice to be able to do. But I digress. Let's get back to the movie discussions. First, Scream 4. I've been a fan of the Scream franchise for years, so I was really looking forward to this one. I'm not going to bother getting into the plot or anything. You can find all that out on IMDb. The pros I found with it? I love the satirical nature of it, and the way that it parodies other horror films, and the way the characters keep comparing the events in their lives to what happens in the movies. It even starts out by parodying itself. Just let it sink in. Second, I found it to be very relatable to the current time. I mean, the tagline for this one was New Generation, New Rules. I feel it was really aimed towards my age group and fans of the originals. Even in the opening scene, it starts out with 2 girls debating about the Saw franchise. Don't worry, I'm not going to complain about that, because it was actually something I can really relate to. I've had discussions like that with my family and friends and other peer members. It's like real life. These movies go to be realistic, and I feel that they succeed very well at that. My third pro had to be the performances, direction, and writing. All of that. Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette, they all returned for this, including Roger Jackson, the voice of Ghostface. You need to have him. All 3 of them play their roles to a T. Most of the time, the new cast members also do a very good job. Especially worth mentioning were Rory Culkin and Eric Knudsen, who played 2 movie experts / geeks. They were a welcome replacement for Jamie Kennedy, who, it's sad, could not return. I'm also very glad that Wes Craven decided to direct again, and that Kevin Williamson, the original writer, also returned. It just wouldn't be the same without them. On the subject of the writing, my main pro would have to be the ending twist. I sincerely applaud anyone who would be able to figure this one out. And even if you're able to guess who's been killing everybody, I bet you won't guess their motivations behind it. Let's just say it's a real what the... So now on to the cons. Not all the performances were perfect. I have to say that some of the more minor characters or supporting roles kind of handed up a little in some places. Luckily, these instances are few and far between. Second, this is not a con for me, but this film gets very violent in some places, and it is very bloody. It has by far the highest body count of the series. Not for kiddies. But I can look past that. And that basically covers my feelings on it. Now, this movie is rated R, well deserved, and it runs at 1 hour, 51 minutes. For my final score, hey, 9 out of 10. If you're a Scream fan or like smart, well-written horror films, I highly recommend it. I loved it. Whoa! Now it's time for Rio. Again, you want a plot synopsis? Go to IMDb. Pros? The animation in this movie is simply beautiful, gorgeous even. Everything is so vibrant and colorful and full of life. Unfortunately, I cannot judge the 3D aspect of it because I saw the standard 2D version. However, I have heard a lot of positive feedback about that. Second, I found the voice acting to be very well done. There are a lot of known stars in this, and they all do very well. Each bears his or her own unique personality, and they vary very much so, and I feel that all the actors really made the characters their own. I especially enjoyed the bird duo Nico and Pedro, played by Jamie Foxx and will.i.am. They were a lot of fun to watch, and they had great chemistry throughout, and they can sing. And that brings me to my third pro, the singing. Here's a clip from what I feel is the movie's best song, Hot Wings. I'm that samba master, push up sound from my ghetto blaster. You dance fast, but I dance faster. You too slow, you need to catch up. You can dance and dance. I wanna samba, I wanna samba, I wanna party, and live my life. I wanna party and fly. After hearing this, it got stuck in my head for 3 days. Need I say more? But alas, I still have some cons. This movie, as fun as it was very predictable. I was easily able to guess pretty much 90% of everything that happened before it happened. Granted, seeing as this is a family film mainly aimed at kids, it's not really a big deal. Though that does bring me on to my second issue, which was the plot. It's very generic. I mean, there's not a whole lot here that hasn't been done before. It's just a different take on an old story. Again, this isn't such a bad thing as the story works. It's fine for what it's doing here. It's just not all that original. So, with that, I have to say that this movie was very fun, entertaining, charming, and humorous. Even though it is technically a kid's movie, it's fun for the whole family. Adults can have fun with it too. Hey, I did, and I'm 20 years old. Now, the movie is rated G, on appeal, was originally PG, and it runs at 1 hour, 36 minutes. So with that, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Excellent. And that concludes the abridged versions of my 2 much-delayed reviews. Now, some of you may be thinking, Jason, come on. You've liked every movie you've reviewed so far. Are you ever going to give a movie a bad review? Well, to answer that question, I don't go to the theaters to see movies that I don't think I'll like. Do you? Some of you may recall that I gave the movie Sanctum a 7, which is the lowest score I've given a film so far. And the only reason why I ended up seeing that was because I got a free pass to an advanced screening. Ergo, I didn't really plan on seeing that in the first place, hence my point. Still on the subject of reviews, I do have a few planned for the future. I recently saw the movie Priest, which I plan on reviewing next, and I'm looking into seeing the movie Thor, which I definitely want to review. So, hey, you can all look forward to that. Something else I still have planned for the future is my Ask Jay segment, in which I'll be answering random questions from viewers, and they can be anything, just as long as they're appropriate and not too personal. At first I was debating whether I still wanted to do it, as I wasn't really getting a lot of questions, at least not a lot that I could really use. But luckily, one certain viewer of mine really came through and gave me 10 questions, just enough to do the first segment, so thanks a lot. And if you want me to credit you in this video, just say so. I also have a new series planned, which I don't want to give anything away about right now, but I think that you'll all find it to be very humorous. At least I hope so. Well, you all have a lot to look forward to in the future. Aren't you lucky? And that pretty much covers everything on the updates. I've got a lot more free time on my hands now, which means more time for making videos. So hey, all of you, thanks for watching, and I hope to entertain you more in the future. But right now, I wanna party.